Hi everyone, it's Lindy on from Pink Whisper Designs. Today we're going to be playing with lots of fun products from Pinkfresh Studio. We're going to be using this 3-part stencil and the coordinating foil plate. So let's go ahead and get started. Let me start off by showing you the stencils we're going to be using. These are from Pinkfresh Studio and this is called the Geo Arch series. And I've got a 3-part stencil that we're going to use to layer up our colors. And then we've got this hot foil plate, which is also the Geo Arch. So these two coordinate together perfectly. So that's going to add some nice foiling to our card. So let's go ahead and do that foiling. I've got my Spellbinders hot foil system. I've heated it up. You can see that green light is on. I'm just placing this right on those grid lines. I've got the foil plate face up. I've got my silver foil face down, pretty side down, and then I've got a piece of Strathmore Bristol Smooth 100-pound cardstock. I'm just lining those up again as best I can. We'll trim that down a little bit later. I've got my 2 plates and I'm going to place those right on top. Now I can remove this from the system and then we'll run this through the die cutting machine. So I've got my Spellbinders Platinum 6 die cutting machine, and I am going to run this through nice and slow. I want to make sure that I get a really nice foiling, so I'm just going to take my time running that through, make sure I get a nice transfer of that foiling. So let's take a look at this, and this just came out so pretty. You could just do a card just like this. I just think this is gorgeous. You could add a sentiment and you're all set to go. So we can use these items separately as well as together, and you see that piece that's left over, you can also foil that, so you might want to hang on to that. Now here are the 3 stencils, and again, I know it's hard to see, but in that upper left hand corner they are labeled, and I'm going to go ahead and line up this first one. I've got that placed on my Wendy Vecchi Make Art station, and I'm using the magnets to hold this in place. We're going to be using the Tim Holtz Distress Oxide inks today, and I'm starting off with that Kitsch Flamingo. And these just blend so beautifully, so this is going to make blending really easy. I just added that color all over, nice even coating. And now I'm going to grab this small blending brush. This is from Pinkfresh Studio, and this is the 1/4 inch round brush. So we're going to use this brush to apply some Festive berries. What I'm doing is applying them kind of down in that lower section of each of these little arches. And this is to do a little bit of shadowing. You're going to see in the end this is going to make a big difference. So I did that for all of these, and then I'm using that same blending brush just to blend those colors. I've just dabbed a little bit at the bottom of each of those little arched areas, and then I'm coming in and blending that together, and I'm just cleaning that brush off on my towel as I go along, just so that I'm not getting too much ink blending. I just want a little bit. I want to keep the tops of those very light. So once that's all set, we can remove this stencil. So you can see it already starting to come together. Now I've got this next stencil, and we're going to go back to that Kitsch Flamingo and that same brush, and we're going to blend this again nice and evenly over the entire stencil. And now let's do some more blending with the picked raspberry. And now we're going to add a little shadow on each side of those arches, on the bottom left and the bottom right. And you can see I'm just kind of dabbing that ink on. I just want to get that down first, and then we'll come back and do our blending just like we did before. So it's kind of just I'm patting it on almost, just kind of dabbing that in. And I did that for this entire panel. And then I'm cleaning off that brush, and again I'm going to blend in from left to right and right to left, just so the top of that arch stays the lightest. And you do want to keep cleaning off your little brush. You can use any mini blending brush here that you choose, but I happen to have these little round brushes and I love them. So now let's take a look at that. That's our second layer, and then let's go to the third layer and do this last little piece at the top. I've got the spun sugar, And again, I'm going to blend that all over. So let's just finish up that last little corner. Now I'm going back to that picked raspberry again. And now we're going to add that dab of color right at the very bottom, the bottom of that V section. Again, I'm just patting it on, just a little dot at the bottom. And then I'm going to do that same blending, cleaning off that brush as I go along. Just want to keep the top of that very light. Once I did that, I decided to come in with Festive Berries and just dab even less down in that little corner, right at the very bottom of that V section. And then again, cleaning off that brush and blending that out. So you'll get a really nice shadowing. I think this makes all the difference. I think it's worth the effort and the time to do some shadowing on your stencils. Take a look at this. It's just absolutely gorgeous and gives it so much more dimension and interest. You can kind of see that there where the colors blend together. So off camera, I foiled a second panel. I wanted to show you a different color combination. So let's go ahead and start off with the milled lavender. Again, I've got a large blending brush and I'm going to blend that all over. Nice even layer of color. And then we're going to add the wilted violet. And again, we're just going to dab that down in that V section there. Just a little bit. I'm just patting that on. I did that all over. And then again, we're going to do that same blending. I'm just cleaning off that brush. I'm just going to blend up towards the top, keeping that top section the lightest. And once that was all done, I came back in with that lighter color and I just went all over the top just to get a little bit better blending of those two colors. And it did soften things up just a little bit. And there again, you can see that little bit of shadowing we get down at the bottom of those sections. Let's go on to the next stencil. I'm going to grab this was the last stencil we used before, but I'm going to do it in a little bit different order. I've got that Villainous Potion, and I'm going to add this all over. So this little area will be nice and dark. So what I did off camera, unfortunately my camera wasn't on, but I cleaned off that stencil and then I laid it back down over top of that dark area and I spattered the panel with a little bit of water while that stencil was on. And then when I removed the stencil, you have some little spatterings in there just on that darker area, and then I let that dry. I'm going to do some more spattering on the next section. I'll be able to show you that on camera. So let's go ahead and grab this last stencil. And I just thought these colors really made a really pretty background. So again, I'm going to start off by adding that layer all over. And then to darken things up, we're going to come in with the peacock feathers. But we're not going to blend it this time. I'm placing some directly onto my Wendy Becky Make Art station. I'm going to spritz that with a little bit of water from my Distress sprayer. We'll pick that up with a paintbrush and then we're going to spatter this. So the inside of those arches will have this really pretty spattering. So again, just trying to make these look a little bit different. And if you want to wait to the very end of the video, I'm going to show you a whole different combination of colors I did. I did some masculine cards and they are completely different. So if you hang on to the end, I'll give you a look at that. And here you can see that really pretty spattering. So you can see that peacock feather spattering on this blue area. And then you can see just the plain water spattering on that dark Villainous Potion area. I'm going to go ahead and cut these down. I've got my Tim Holtz paper trimmer. And I'll cut both of those to 4 inches by 5¼ inches. Now let's create a standard A2 size top folding card. So the cardstock measures 4¼ by 11 inches, and I'm going to score that at 5½ inches. Just fold that in half and press that out with the bone folder. And then next we're going to add a couple strips of some silver paper. This is the Craft Stock Metallic Classics from Tim Holtz. We're going to grab that silver. So these measure approximately 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/4 inches. I've got some scrapbook.com 1/4 inch double-sided tape, and I'm going to add a couple strips of this to the back of each of these. Let's go ahead and remove that backing, and then we'll be attaching it right along the left-hand side of this panel. And I'll do the same thing for the other one. So now that those are all set, I'm going to add some ribbon to these. I've got these ribbons from Tim Holtz, and these are just so pretty. I'm going to grab that kind of pinky one, that rosy color, and then that dark purple. And these are the cool and warm velvet trims. And again, I will list and link everything down below for you as well as on my blog. So let's just cut these down to size. And then I'm going to go back to that same tape, that same double-sided tape, and I'll add a strip of this to the back of each of these ribbons. This is a nice way to attach the ribbon. You don't get any excess glue on anything. And so with the tape, I can just put a strip of that on the back and then easily attach these to the card. So again, we'll just remove that backing, and I cut these a little bit longer so that they will wrap right around to the back side. And if you want, you can just leave some of that backing on. It just makes it a little easier to just remove a little bit at a time. That way you can make sure you're lining this ribbon up nice and straight. So you can see I'm just pulling off a little bit of the backing each time. And now I can just wrap that right around to the back, and it'll stick nicely on the back side as well. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for this other one. Now we can put that double-sided tape all the way around the back of each of these panels, and then we'll go ahead and attach these to our card. So using my Cricut weeding tool, I'm just going to remove the backing and center it on the front of the card. And I did that for both of these. Next, I want to show you these really pretty sentiments. These are foiled sentiments, and they are from Pinkfresh Studio as well. And there's just so many in this little packet. They're just so cute and easy to use. And I just want to show you how you can kind of mix and match your sentiments today. Even if you foil your own, of course, Pinkfresh Studio has tons of foil plates so you can foil your own sentiments. But kind of my goal was to show you how you can kind of just mix and match these together. Now sometimes with these you need to poke out those little extra pieces in there. And then I'm also going to use these little Dreamy floral set. This is just a whole set of flowers and leaves and all kinds of pretty things. We're just going to grab one of those little tiny flowers. Again, you could certainly die cut your own flower and color it in, but I thought this matched nicely with our project. And then I've got that other floral, that larger floral that we're going to use with this round sentiment. So first off, I'm just going to combine these two by adding them together. So I'm going to place a little bit of glue at the bottom of this sentiment, and then we'll attach these two. And it did take me a while to dig through all those sentiments and decide what I wanted, so I don't want you to think that I just picked them out immediately. I took my time kind of digging through, seeing what mixed and matched together nicely, and came up with this little combination. But again, there were tons of other combinations you could use. I've got the scrapbook.com foam squares. These are the small ones, and I think I got a little carried away with them, but I've got plenty on there. This isn't going to go anywhere, and I'm just going to kind of center that on this panel. but it'll pop up nicely to give us a little more dimension. And then I've got that little flower, and I'm going to go ahead. I'll just pop up that one side of it just so this lays nice and flush with our sentiment. I'm adding glue to the other side. And then for this other one, we're going to use that circle sentiment, and then we're also going to use this larger floral. But I didn't think it quite coordinated with our project. So I'm going to use a little tiny blending tool. You can use a little makeup sponge here, whatever you have. Just something small so I can get in there, and I'm just dabbing off some of that excess ink. Just going back to the Distress Oxides we used before. And I'm just going to dab a little bit of that ink on just to add a little shadowing and bring in some of the colors on our panel. And this was fun to do and really easy, and definitely personalizes this really nicely. So again, take a look at the stamps you might have that you could use as a floral in this same way with another sentiment. Kind of dig through your stash. You could, layer up with some dies your own floral, so whatever you want to do here, but I just thought this was kind of a pretty way to combine your sentiments. Here I've got that really pretty salvage patina. We'll just add a little bit, again just trying to bring that color in. Now that that's all set, we can go ahead and assemble this sentiment. I did decide to add a little bit more shadowing there. And then I'm just going to glue these two together to get started, just like we did before. I'll place a little glue at the bottom of this flower. And then we're going to pop this up with those small foam squares again. And again, I placed plenty of those on there, probably too many. And we can go ahead and center this. Now I've got some Pinkfresh Studio, these beautiful little gems. These are the silver gems. These are the metallic pearl silver gems, and they're just absolutely beautiful and sparkly. I'm going to place one in the center of that flower, and then we'll place a few around here just to bring a little more interest to the front of the card and to tie in that beautiful foiling that we have on the sentiment and on the background. I'm using my little pickup tool and my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to place these down. And then on this one, I'm going to add a few little the tiniest ones. What's nice about these little pearls is you get quite a few sizes in here. So I'm going to use 3 of those tiny ones on the center of that flower. And then we'll just place one down here, kind of the medium-sized one underneath the sentiment. And then I thought it would be fun to put a few of these on that velvet trim. So for this one, I'm going to put a medium one and then 2 tiny ones on each side. I'm just centering those. And again, I'm just using that Nuvo Deluxe adhesive. It'll hold those down just fine. And then for this one, I decided to put a few up here at the top. So let's go ahead and take a look at the finished cards. And you can see that pretty spattering and the beautiful foiling we have. And don't forget, at the very end, I'm going to show you some more masculine cards that I made with this same combination of stencils. And then this one here in the pink is just so pretty. We've got some beautiful blending and shadowing, so that's a really easy way to get some more added dimension and interest to your stencils. And then let's take a look at those other 2 cards that I created previously, and look how different these are. You have these, the navy blue and the red, and they're just much more bold. And for these, what I did was I added some embossing powder, and that just gives it a little bit of shine. And I also added some words. So I used a large stamp and just stamped a background of text on these, just for, again, another different kind of a look. So you can have a lot of fun with these. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And I hope you all have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.